My name is Obasan Isikalu. I was born in 1959, February 20. I attended Odugbolu Grammar School. I left the secondary school in 1978. By that 78, I was being one of the top inside my town, where people were calling me, if they fight here, na me go dey there. If they do another bad thing, say they are rape, na me go dey there. That's why my mother was took me down to Lagos. I stay with my brother. That my brother that I'm staying with him, he's doing soup, and they call him Odu soup. But fortunately, my brother, he doesn't do anything with those area boy. They came in midnight to come and kill my brother. Then, by that time, I don't drive vehicle, me myself.
Within your brother, why they kill your brother?
I didn't know what is between those people, because my brother married 5 wives, and those people that my brother married wife from them, they are giant people. I remember.
He married from them.
Let's say people wife. He married. Yeah, maybe na that one. Say they come kill him. I didn't know, because my brother is smoking ganja. Anywhere else, he's very popular. Then they call him Fatai Udus. He's doing Udu soup. Fortunately, after they killed my brother, it was 1986. I take over the company. By the time that I take over the company, some of my friends, they will come, meet me inside that company. They will tell me, say, oh boy, how much soap will you want to sell? You know, she say, the car where I carry come yesterday, I don't sell the car. I say, where you dey see the car? He said, if I went to Cotonou there, I will buy it overnight. I will come here. I will carry and call Lagos. I say, this business, where I know how to drive, I beg, let me follow you now. Now he tell me one night, say, oh yeah, shebi I say I ready. I say I ready. Now I follow her. By the time when we reach Orile, Igomu, he said, make we get down there. We get down. He said, any car where I see, make I just call, say, we dey go Seme. I say, why we came down inside the public motor, we say, make we dey call car. He said, those cars, it will work sharp. I say, I don't hear. He said, immediately, when the vehicle stop like this, I should jump to the front. He go there for back. I say, okay, that is nice. Before we reach Ijanike, this my friend, he don't mold this driver. He say, make I control the steering, As I dey control the steering, he just tear the boy. He tear his clothes. He just use that knife to push him down. But my leg, they shake on top of the turtle. When we reach Seme, I park down. I say, my friend, this one na slashing. You don't know the consequence. He said, forget. You know die. When they stab him like that, I will just slow down. They will push it down. We will push and come out from the car. We will tear in cloth. And here I say, when we reach Seme, I say, I no go drive this vehicle back. He said, if I know, say I no go drive, make I just stop. na him carry the vehicle, we drive come Lagos. We don dey poyon dis thing. Na him I dey think of my head say, dis thing dem catch us, I can't snatch am. But what is the gain of this thing? God so good, na so I get trouble. As I get trouble, out of 4 of us, dem came on torturing, one died because I dey claim that I'm Kabu driver. Dem catch us.
On your way back from
No, not be that day. We don dey. Okay. As we don dey do am like say we are doing, person is going to school wey we dey see the thing. But unfortunately, dem cut us. Wey dem cut us now, from dem carry us go Panti police station. By torturing, one of us, he died. But I claim as a driver.
how many were they?
We dey 3 in gang. By the time that they are torturing, we cooperate from the house, say if dem hold you, say you no know me. If dem hold me, say I no know you. But I claim as a Kabu driver because na me dey dey on steering anytime. If dem move like that, na me go chauffeur the vehicle. As I reach Panti, from Panti, dem kill one of us, dem carry the 2 of us down to Ikoyi prison yard, which was 92. I say, God, this is another case for me. Jejely I for stay where I'm doing my soup. This man confused me, but everything na business. By that time, I don dey take drug. You hear me? No one. I'm doing cocktail. And if I carry bunker, I no dey step down. That one, e dey worry brain. Bunker. When dem will carry water down, dem come put that thing wey dem dey use to do marriage something. Let's say foil, dem dey call am foil. Yeah, we go pinch am like this. When we pinch am, we will put the Charlie on top of that ashes, and then we go dey blow am. The vapor na him we dey use. And I no dey stay inside joint. I'm staying inside the hotel. Then they call that hotel Carry Inn at Idioko, Mushin. Na there, some who dey sell drug, they will carry drug come give me. I'm smoking, not be say as I see money, na here I dey smoke. But at times, if I see say we no go show, I will join boys who are doing picking. There is set times of picking. Teeth and fire dey. When we sit down inside the vehicle, I dey beside the window. If I cough to your mouth, as I dey cough, na so you dey shit. Wey me myself I dey carry your money. And another one day, dem dey call am ground force. You are coming like this. Me myself, I'm coming towards you. We will be 2. I will tell the second one to move front of you. Just say you stand. Before you see, I don't shake you. Like this one na Sarah, we call him Pade. When you are coming like this, I will not do. I will just carry like this. Let's say I won't use hand touch you. But man, that one is dirty work for me. How much I won't sell food at that time. But to be the God grace, I rona. Say, God, by the time that I came back from prison, and I used 5 years, but I say, God, I want to read book. I want to read more. Those of me, we start this thing, some of them don't die. But God, give me the vision to read book. One day, those redeemed people, they are doing evangelizing. I did inside. I just come out from that hotel. I want to go and buy something. Now he then tell me, say, those people, you know that you are smoking drug. These people are looking for those who are smoking drug. I say, make them call one, come for me. Now one come meet me. Say, am I ready to go and chill out? I say, by God's grace, because this thing don't tire me. See, the hotel that I'm staying, he say you are staying in your hotel. Waiting is the work where you are doing still there, because I'm paying 1,000 naira. Now he then tell me, say, okay, let's go. I say, I can't go today. I hold this hotel people, let's say like 12,000. That money, I want to collect it from their hand to go and use it to smoke. And give me the money and tell me that I should come to a stadium where one woman did. That woman a parish pastor, provisional pastor. Then they call her Shola Balogun. Now them open purse give me that money. For the second week, when they will come, I dodge them. I don't stay. They said they should come and look me inside. Then I asked them, they say, I know they there. I go. But fortunately, I see say I don't weak because I don't get strength. Meaning that I have a children, when my children doesn't look about my face. By the time when my wife grandmother died, my children come and see me. They say, Daddy. And I jumped somewhere else. My second born, by the time that I born him, I was being in a prison yard. He asked me, say, Daddy, let's go home. I say, I'm coming home. Just a week. A week, I used 5 years. And my baby boy by that time is just ordinary, let's say, 6 months by the time we didn't catch me.
Let's talk about your family. You married?
I married.
Where the woman live?
The woman don't divorce me.
How many children?
We have 2 children. 1 boy, 1 girl.
Where are they?
One is at Abuja, and the other one, they have traveled out.
You and them still talk now?
Eventually, we dey talk because of my loss of my food. Because it's giving me money monthly for my food.
Your son?
Yeah, the 2 of them, then they share them, they give me. Even though the house that I'm living, they are the one who is paying for it. But as I did now, I'm 60 plus. I want to go back to my town. Because the soap that I'm doing is not move, and the prices don't go, the price of the chemical don't go high. That's why my boy told me that he will go and rent a shop for me, make I sell the chemical. Anybody will want to train, I will be training them there. I say I accept. Anybody will, like if any church called me, I went out to go and do soap for them. That is my own handwork.
So, this is your 5 years.
Yes, sir. Okay. You say, if you don't have a gang, That's why I learn lesson. When you enter prison yard, welcome cell when you enter, they get a hall like this. They will put you inside. Everybody will be inside. Your casemate, those way you and him dey hustle, na him be your friend. And you go dey pray God say if they want to come and share now, because after welcome cell, they will carry una go cell by cell. The cell, we have 2 cells for Ikoyi prison yard. A ward, they have 12 cells. B ward, they have 9 cells. We have 4 single cells inside. And then another side again be booster, which people that small underage were staying. But there is no visiting for that place. If you have a casemate, you will enjoy. If you doesn't have a casemate, person don't go. But my casemate is a lion. It's a big lion, because you know that I'm a chauffeur. But we don't deny ourselves. By the time we police carry us, say, I didn't know this one. He himself, he doesn't know me. But immediately we enter into another paradise. That is prison yard. We jam together. Then all the money that we see inside cell from panty, you can never carry money, because those people, when they want to come and search you, they must collect your money. I will use nylon, bend down like this, put it through the anus. We put it through our anus, it will stay there. Unless we no go cheat for that day. For the second day, you will cheat am, because they are selling many things inside the corner of the prison yard, anywhere else. And they are giving them 2 rations. And those wey they don't jail, na him dey cook for ATM. ATM is different. ATM is that they see the car for us now. We know that we snatch the car. If they ask us from court, say, na our baba car. Are you guilty or not guilty? I'm not guilty, because we are fighting with government. Those one wey dem go jail, na him dem dey call, are you guilty or not guilty? I'm guilty because of fry pan, or because of stove. That is petty stealing. I'm not doing like that one. God Almighty, all that one have passed away. I'm now a new creation. Because people who are seeing me, seeing that God be in my life.
Okay, so let's talk about this. How did things start for you?
It's just a friend came to my brother's factory. Then they call him Asena. And he say, make I test this. From cocaine, I smoke. I say, this thing, shock me. And one of my brothers that have been traveling told me that a day when you smoke, you don't get them. The rest one is unfinished matter. Drug is unfinished matter. Like Indian hemp, when you put Indian hemp for mouth, when you smoke out, you go do like say the ground, it dey go down, it dey go up. That is the day that you don't examine am. And if you no take time, the way that you think say you are doing, na anytime when you go carry Indian hemp, smoke, na so if you dey laugh, when you don't put am for hand, because you don't remember the day when you put am. That is how they do them.
So how you take move on?
That is how I take move inside the truck.
One way you say a small bunker down, the bunker they put you.
That bunker, if you carry bunker, you hear me now. Anybody that is been to the drug, by the time that you are carrying bunker, I will be picking from here down to that place, because the thing will shine like white. I will find out. I can find out from here down to that place that I will never see him. That is what I call unfinished matter. It can never benefit you, but the urge, you go they take that is what we call paranoia. And say the para. And you be that. If you just see like that, that is how the eye will do. You can walk out from here down to that place.
Now, you not get ready market for.
We have
only car snatching.
We are doing car alone.
You are not breaking into cars.
But me, I be well all workers. As this house is now, if I want to enter this house, I will enter. I don't go for broken and entry. Not be today. To enter, I have my G, I have everything. But God, I'll make it.
You have your.
I have G. G, now then they call key. We then they take the open. It's not a master case. We they file it by ourselves. That's union key. I will just carry file. You hear me now? Dodge him out. If I want to do, Father, thank you. Almost 28 years I wasted. All my friends as we go to the same secondary school, if I see them like this, I will say, but I thank God. What about those we have gone away? No criminal line that will tell me that I will never tell you this how to do, this how to do.
You don't talk about your parents?
My parents doesn't do anything for me. My parents was guiding me. After when my father had died in 1980, I only my mother, but my mother come hear about me so that I was very bitter. And my mother was begging God that I'm the one who will bury my mother, not my mother will bury me. Until when my mother died, 2015, I say, God, I thank God. But before that time, I don't carry money to go and give my mother, because once at times, for my family, they reject me. If I call them that, sister, I have one sister at Dokwemu. If I call the number, no, I no do. I don't go Ibadan. Why? Because of the attitude that is still from my hand. Because I'm very bitter. Don't be here and here. Even though where I go greet them for house, where I see them, where the money dey, e don't dey for my face. I will go there. Where the jewelry is there. That's why. Father, I thank you. People who are seeing me, then they glorify God. Say, I'm somebody. That's why I want to go down to my town back, because I have a title of chief for my town. My mommy, no, my family dey at this Lagos.
No, I'm talking about your wife and children.
My wife.
Yeah, which year you married?
I married 1982.
So that time you still did car snatching?
No, I never start by that time. I still do, I assist my brother's work. Because then came my brother in 1986. 86, 87, that is how I blew out.
So at that time, were your children?
Then they with me. We did together.
They don't know what you did?
No, they know that I'm doing soap Yeah. But by the time that I fought with my wife, I fought with him 85. He pack a load, go down to in mother's house at Orilegan. By that 86, my eye don, if I go club, carry woman, I will carry am come house. They will sleep with me, cook for me, do whatever. Then immediately early in the morning, I will jump inside my brother this thing. But let's say around 86, 87, I don push it, I lock the company of my brother, I lock it. Those boys wey dem dey help me there, I tell them say make everybody find their way. That is how I come outside. The place where I leave house come, dem dey call am Ebute Elefun for Third Beach. Na there is the first place na there I get gang. From that place, you come to Mushin at Jebako Cinema to come and you see many types of boys picking pockets, snatcher. Then we dey separate, we smoke together. After that, we go watch film. From there, everybody will go away. Before somebody watch film finish like this, somebody those picking pocket, they don't see money. Like this, let's go together. Before we enter from Jebako down to Idioro, we don't get down. Because this one has sit on fire, we don't fish am like this, we see money dey there. We don't carry am, come down.
So by the time you don't dey into the car starting, you and your wife no dey talking.
We know they talk.
You do your
And they don't know where I dey.
So in all those years, you don't see them.
Let's say since 1987, before they recollect me back, it was 2010. Before we see, because I go there, let's say since I used 5 years for JR. How to see me? They don't see me. By the time that I came back, I went to one park at Yaba. I find one of my friends go there. That one tell me that I can dey work with them. But I don't want to put that one into wahala because the where I'm living, he doesn't know. Early in the morning, I will come to that Yaba to come and here and here. All these Digbe boys, Digbe vehicle, where they are coming from, maybe where they come, maybe their bag they put down, we carry them, run away. But I thank God for my life.
At what point you say robbery tire you, drug tire you?
That is,
just say.
I tell myself, say, God, give me the way that all these things is tired of me. That's why.
After you come out from jail.
After we are come out from jail, and I say, I will not do all these things again.
You worry about your future right now.
I dey worry about my future because I know that I've lost a lot of things. Because if I see my age mates that have built a house, I'll be crying. Say, God, this opportunity that I have before, I've lost it. Now I just buy half a plot. But I still dey thank God, say, I'm still there alive.
You get any regret?
I have a regret too because if I obey my mother, it will not worse for me at the age of 60-something years. Things wey my junior brother have built house at the age of 30 years, living inside his own house. At times, if my brother call me, my leg dey shake, but I will still count it. It is a joy that he still see me. That's why I dey okay. Himself, if you see me, daddy.
So how your relationship with your children dey at the time when all these things dey happen?
They are not talking good about me because then they argue with me. But by the time when I want to do graduation, when I go West Spring, by that time, my son, that one wey travel, he come and he rejoice with me. Say, God, I thank you for my life.
Okay, so you don't say no, you only us to watch you now.
Yeah.
So based on your own experience, what you don't go through for life, what you fit advice
Anybody that are watching me to know that there is God and there is nothing wey God can never do. God can change the life of a person to the new. A dead lion can never stay with a new lion. But what you advise that the dead one say, the thing wey make somebody enter inside this fish, don't try it. I dey use this my own last ignorance. I dey use am to teach person say, this not I supposed to be. I'm not supposed to dey with you, but be my ignorance. That's why I dey like this. But you yourself, don't enter inside this fish.
Okay, in those your days when they carry weapons too?
There is no weapon except jackknife. That's all.
So to take person car,
we use brain. That's how I tell you, we use brain to convert them. Those one where we see that he was alone inside, we know that this one, some people, the oga will send am say, I better go so place, and he want to use it to get small little money. They will work out for night. People, you know, say this one na kabu. Hello, Oshodi. Before he reach Oshodi, maybe did for Mushin side, maybe na G Kappa, we don't collect the show for him. That's where I tell you that just to snap him, if we want to do strong way, you hear me, we snap him, then we tear his cloth, then we push him down, then we go away.
Sometimes you pity the people where you wanna rob. You pity them sometimes.
If you pity them, they don't hold person with that. You hear me? That one, because our own disadvantage to go away. If you don't go away, you hear me now, we don't hustle with that. Person don't see the hustle. Because you can say na gun, then say, whereas there's no gun.
Okay, so what thing you dey do right now?
I'm a soap consultant.
So usually we dey cover people's face for this show, like their identity, or you say you want people to see.
That one doesn't mean anything.
Why?
Because you see, when they cover the face, it still be a devil. But that's why people will see me, they will talk something good about me. That's it.
So we get your permission to show the world this your story now.
It is well.
And we wish you good luck.
Amen.
Blessings.
Amen. Amen.